Welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival, and here we are guys. It's a nice bright day on the planet, and before I get into the main focus of this part, which is building a small vessel, I just want to show you guys something. Because it's a nice bright day, the sun's overhead, you will see that my solar panels are really pumping out the power. And just to show you guys, if I go to the stats, you can see here we're generating 632 kilowatts. And my battery is charging up quite nicely. Actually, I need to... I think that's enough fuel. I don't really need it. Now, as I say, the focus of this part is actually going to be building a small ship. And to do that, I've actually prepared. I've extended my base out here. And I've put these 4 concrete blocks, which I will explain in a minute. But before I do that, I also want to thank John VZ800 for your comment and timely reminder about the... See, where's the options? That's options. The field of view. You were right, I had my field of view down to 40 because I think I'd been attacking a hostile point of interest and I hadn't set it back to 70, sorry. So that was a very, very relevant point. Now, as I said, in this part we're actually going to build a small vessel. It's going to be very much an ad hoc build. I've got a vague idea what I want to build, but it's going to be very much make it up as I go along. Now, for any of you guys who have not built a vessel before, or you're completely new to building in Empyrion, the first thing you actually need to do is come in here and unlock the relevant technologies, which I've already done. The only thing I haven't unlocked yet is the short range warp drive and warp drive tank. We may need it in the future, but you can see I've also unlocked the fridge. And actually I'm very, very inclined to take a mobile constructor with me as well, because what I'm actually thinking is the way I'm going to build this ship, guys, is from a perspective of actually we could put a ventilator in as well. Actually, I'm going to unlock the ventilator, and we're also going to take, well, I've got plenty of points, we're also going to take a mobile constructor with me as well. Simply I'm doing this so that this ship will be ready for actually traveling out into space. So I think what I need to do, and the other thing I've also done off camera, guys, is I've actually built most of the components, and I think what I want to do is just come in here. Where's the ventilator? There's the ventilator. I'm going to build the ventilator, and if I can find the constructor, maybe the constructor isn't in here, maybe I will have to go generic. Where's the mobile constructor? Sometimes it can be quite difficult to find things sometimes. I haven't got enough cobalt alloy for the mobile constructor. Oh well, never mind. That's the way it goes. And of course what I'm going to do is whip all this stuff out of here. We can take the ventilator, because that will mean I will have oxygen in the cab. And the next thing you want to do if you're going to get into serious building, guys, is actually take all your weapons off your building bar, so that you can actually, but of course you need the multi-tool to correct your mistakes, which I'm bound to make some. And take the RCSs, the tanks. What do I need for O2 tanks? I certainly want the O2 distributor for me to recharge my suit. Now, these 4 blocks I've put in because I find it useful to put the initial starter block on, actually on some raised blocks, and then I take the blocks away, and it means that the ship is actually hovering in space, so you can work in and around it. Now, if you want to place a ship, the starter block always orientates in the direction that your avatar is actually looking. So if you want to build something in a specific direction, line your avatar up first, because it doesn't change. So if I go this way, you can see it doesn't alter by actually rotating with the drone. And what we're going to do is just drop this down here. It will drop down onto here. So we've now got an orientation in a certain amount of direction. And of course you can see here what you've got is a core surrounded by 8 steel blocks. I think they're steel blocks. And what you want to do is make sure that when you're building, you disassemble, you don't deconstruct. So we're just going to take this away, and just to demonstrate, guys, I'm just going to take all 4 concrete blocks away like this, and you can see this will now hover in space quite happily. And actually I need to take these away as well, because I want like that. And what we're going to do is drop the RCSs each side of the core like that. And you can see I've now got this kind of floating in space, and what I want to do is, I think we're going to put this is the oxygen distributor. Oops, nope. And what I want to do is rotate this. I want to put this on the top. The reason I'm putting that in on first is that when you put the cockpit in, it can be a bit tricky to line things up like that. So actually, let's just have a look. It's a bit. That's a bit. Is that okay? I mean, is it? Actually, no. Let's just have a look at the cockpit options. Now, some of these cockpits have varying resistance. Like this has only got 650 points. This has got 700. I actually like that, but maybe it's a bit too elongated. Maybe we need something that's a bit shorter. I mean, this one. What does this look like? No, that's. I think that's a bit too low profile. Wow, that looks cool. Actually, how many hit points has this got? 700. It's gonna have to be that one, I'm afraid. Okay, hopefully we will get this to line up exactly right. If not, we'll just have to deconstruct it. So you can see the length of the cockpit actually makes the whole ship look a bit longer, and it elongates it. I mean, some ways it's going to work, and other ways it's not. And I think what we can do now is swoop in and take out these blocks. I'll just take these blocks out. And what I'm thinking, guys, is we've got this here, and obviously there's going to be exposure there, so we don't want to build anything critical there. Because by putting I mean, it may seem a bit crazy that you put this immediately behind the cockpit, but at the end of the day, if your cockpit's gone, your ship's used trash anyway, so there's no point worrying about it. We've got the ventilator. I'm assuming that the ventilator we can just shove anywhere. I'm just going to pick up the fridge. Fuel tanks. I'm kind of. I'm a bit inclined. I want. Let me see. I think maybe we'll just put everything in line. I think maybe we'll have the fuel tanks on the outside like that. And then we'll put the generator in the center. That's the most vulnerable. And if we lose the generator, we actually lose the ship. I think what I'm going to do is I'm thinking of an orientation. So I think maybe let me just put some thrusters on, so I've got some points of reference. Sometimes, as I say, when you're building a ship, sometimes you just need to put things in so that you've actually got a reference. I think maybe we could put the thrusters. I mean, the ship's quite long. Maybe if we can put the actual thrusters. Let me just. Oh, that's the ventilator. What am I on about? What am I doing? You're an idiot. So if we put one thruster there, I think. Yeah, I think if we put Now let's go back this way. Ah, here comes the rain. Great. Always wanted to build in the rain. Now I think if we put these thrusters like that, because I want 3 thrusters aside simply because, well, we need to be able to, just to show you guys. Now, remember I showed you how it was, how the power generation was when it was nice and bright. Look at this. The rain, cloudy, so it goes to show how realistic the weather actually is. And I think what we're going to do is, I think if we put, I'm only going to have 2 downward thrusters. So we got 3 thrusters that way, 3 downward thrusters, and I think underneath here, let's just get the thrusters in. Okay. Oops. And I think if we, which is the, we need that these thrusters here. So let's rotate these. Okay, we'll put 1 there. We could have all 3 side by side, but I'm kind of a bit inclined to put the lift thrusters out like this. So that creates, so that's my thruster positions. And what we could do is actually, so we've now kind of got this built up as a really chunky type session. I mean, we've got 2 oxygen tanks, so I could put an oxygen tank in the center there, and so we got an oxygen tank there. What else have we got to put on? Cargo box, guns. The guns obviously will go on the front, because that's where you actually need them. Kind of, we got these pretty exposed down here, but what we could, well, we've got a ventilator to put in, so we could, okay, we got, okay, let's put the oxygen tank there. I'm assuming we can just put the ventilator anywhere we want. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And I think we'll have the cargo box there, so that nobody can actually, if somebody destroys it, they won't actually think. And I think what we will have is the ammo box there between the ships, and of course we'll have the fridge there as well. Oops, stop. We'll take that out. Let's take this out, put this back, and we'll just put the fridge in. So that kind of builds what the ship looks like. It's going to be a bit chunky and short distance. The reason I'm keeping it square, a bit square and blocky at the back here, is simply because, well, if we're going to put a warp drive on the back, we've got to have some things. So the warp drive is very, very big, and actually I think, I mean, at the end of the day, if this is, we're being shot at from the front, we've got these thrusters here, but we can put these thrusters behind some protection. So let me just get, right, so what we're going to do now is work on the steel blocks, and I think that's everything else we can do. We've got the landing gear. I think for the symmetry of the ship, let's put the guns on next. And obviously with the guns, as somebody pointed out, line of sight is very, very important. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have the guns, again, I don't want them stuck out too far. I think maybe we'll bring them out 1 like that. And we have the 3 sets of guns on the front like this. And of course eventually, once we get unlock missiles, we can change this arrangement around. I think what we will do is put a top mounted spotlight so we can actually see what we're doing. And of course we will probably have other spotlights here. Okay, let's Or should I put them here? If I put them here. Yeah, right. Back to thrusters. We got 2 thrusters. Yeah, I think what we're going to do, guys, is I think, right, let's work on the armament now. We've got this area here, like this pad out, obviously with the obvious blocks. So we'll put a block there, and I think I'm just going to drop a block in here as well, just so that the ship has a little bit of symmetry to it. I mean, I'm not too worried about these bits at the top. Obviously, we've got to protect this. And I'm kind of inclined to put another block there. And, I mean, I suppose I could use the axis of symmetry, but nah. Okay, so we got this kind of a little bit exposed and wishy-washy. I think what we're going to do is put some blocks behind here, because we're going to need something for our kind of undercarriage to be protected, and I think we need to cover this up. So I think what we're going to do is put 3 blocks or 5 blocks across here like that. Okay, that will work, and that protects underneath, and of course the core is exposed. Okay, I think maybe we can have something like this. I mean, I'm probably going way over the top, guys, and you're probably going to say, wow, I should be thing, but well, that's part of the fun of building ships. You build something, and then if it doesn't work, you take it apart and you do it all over again. Right, I think we'll have the reversing or stopping thrusters. We'll tuck these thrusters in here, and they can probably get some forward-facing protection. So that actually, yeah, that works. And I think we'll put the rear thrusters on now, and I think we're just going to tack those and put those on the line of sight like that. Okay. So we got 3 thrusters, we got a back, so that should be all the thrusters. And the configuration I'm going for, guys, is we should have 3 lift thrusters, so that we can lift out very, very quickly if we need to be. We've got 3 thrusters so we can strafe quickly. We've only got 2 thrusters to slow us down, to get us out of trouble, and of course we only really need 2 thrusters to drop the ship down should we actually get into trouble. I think so. What we need now, and I think I need to put the other lights on. Now I could put the lights on here, but I'm kind of a bit inclined. These thrusters are a little bit exposed out on the front. Actually, could I put the thrusters underneath? Actually, that could be. Well, they don't actually have to be on the side, do they? Okay, change of plan, guys. When we could drop the thrusters. Let's take this out, and I mean that's 3 wide, that's 5 wide. Okay, let's actually, I've taken the wrong block out, haven't I? So if we take this block out and this block out, what we can do then is put the thrusters. We can put these thrusters actually underneath that. Now that'd be cool, guys. That means these will be actually shielded by the guns. Okay, and it means we can now take out, and what we can do is disassemble this one, and what we can do is we can drop a full-size block in there. and a full-size block in there. Okay, so that thruster's protected, that thruster's protected. And what we can do is just put this here, guys. Okay, and we can actually come down the side like that. Yeah, I think this. I'm starting to like this now, guys. I was getting a bit that it looked rubbish, but and we can rotate this, come back down 3 this side like that. And I think what we can do is just put that there and that there. That will give a little bit of protection from. Is that in the right place? Let's just have a quick check. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to see. That will give me a semblance of a wing. I mean, I don't want to go too far, but that will actually... And what we could do is just to get a bit of protection on this wing. So if we can... I mean, we could... Yeah, maybe we'll just drop that in like that on this side. Again, it's just to protect that thruster a little bit. So I'll just have that little bit there. It probably won't take off now, I bet you guys. Okay, and I think what we will do is right across the back here, just to give the ship a little bit of symmetry, and maybe again we'll just... I mean, it's nice to actually build a ship. One of the things that got me with my Omicron series was having to build it underground so that you couldn't really build the width, so it's nice to be back actually building a ship. And I think what we can do on the top here, so I'm quite happy to leave this exposed. What we could do is, right, just flip that round. I think what we can do is just build across like that, which means we need to take this one out. No, don't like that. I want some top protection for my rear thrusters, so take that out. And I think we'll just put a row of blocks across like that, and then we will go back to these and we'll put a line across like that. And I think just for the moment here, oops, I think we'll just put something like that. And maybe just in here, just to make it look a bit more. Just in here, like that. Oops. And what we should be able to do is drop a block in that corner there. Do I really need to put a block in there? Yeah, let's... I mean, my problem is I can never find the block that I actually want that's curved. Okay, where's the... Is that the one that's going to fit? No, that's... I think it's the right one. It's just getting the right orientation, guys. Right, guys. Finally got there. I think to remember all the blocks you've actually got to keep in practice. Right, let's see if I can get this one in the corner, and I'm just gonna... Right, finally got it. And right, what I need to do now is we're gonna I think I should be able to just rotate this, guys. And what we're going to do is just put these on this corner like this. It's not going to be, oops, it's not going to be perfect protection, but oops, that's wrong. Okay, let's take this off. Oh, the joys of building. The joys of building. Okay, let's just back to here. Right. So we've now got this on the front with the there. That'll give me some extra protection. And I think just to do this, guys, I'm going to put the lights and oops, no, right, that should be it. What I'm going to do is it's just going to have these on the side. I mean, these are effectively will get knocked off relatively quickly. Oops, no. Which way did I put this? These are back on the side of the ship. Okay. I say these will get knocked off relatively quickly, but we'll be okay because we've got the additional. We don't really need the additional protection behind them. I suppose we could put that in. And what I actually want to do is we're going to have relatively low landing gear. We've got a flat thing, so what we're going to have, I mean, I don't have to, so I think that can go just in the front, like, actually no, come back one, and what we will do is we'll just put these right out on the outside of the thrusters. Yeah, you're just behind the line of the thrusters. That should be okay. So we've got our ship up and running, and of course now comes the big thing. It's gonna, and of course, see, as soon as I jump into it, guys, it actually drops down. Okay, what we're gonna do is obviously we're gonna fuel it up. Just fill all. Of course, we should be able to get some ammunition in. Oh, I've got some side lights. Okay. We could probably put some side lights on as well. We're just going to go for a flight, guys, because I'm aware of the time. Okay, power up. And of course we're great. So why am I flying lopsided? That's not an encouraging start. Get some height. And of course if we can get back a reasonable distance. Okay, let's get some height so we can actually see. Seem to be a bit nose heavy. Not sure if that's useful or not. We've got the lights are, well, we've got plenty of lights splashing around. You can see here, guys, if I strafe like that and down and up, so I think we've got some maneuverability, which is exactly what I wanted. And let's get back to first person. Can't really see the guns. We need something to shoot. Okay, let's get down here. A bit worried about being lopsided. Oops. Reload. I thought I'd put ammunition in this. What's it doing there? Okay. Put it on the wrong one. Okay, reload. See what the line of fire is like. Pretty good. So we're just gonna fly in, stabilize, And of course, the advantage is also by having this nice big cockpit is I can walk around on the top, which is going to be very useful. But of course, don't walk into the actual down flares, or because you get yourself cooked. As you can see here, I've got a nice flat top to walk around on, which is going to be very, very useful for exploration. Okay. Whoops a daisy, guys. Come on. Right, just grab that. Cancel. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not a brilliant, perfect ship, but you can see again, I can get into cab. We've got access to the oxygen. I say the second oxygen tank, well, we can live with the necessity of it. Not totally convinced about the lights, to be honest. And the ship feels a bit nose heavy, so maybe I need to put a little bit more on the back. But it seems a bit kind of down at the front, so probably because all the guns stuck at the front. So I think what we're going to do is get in here and just going to come down, guys. Just and whoops, just fly in here up a bit. I'm just going to land. Seems a bit over on one side as well. Okay, let's just lift a bit. Something seems to be unbalanced, and I can't quite put my finger on it. Yeah, well, these seem to be in the right place. I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put another line of blocks across the back like this. Oops. Oops, I haven't got my jetpack on. Actually, I'm kind of... Let me just... another object in the spawn area, okay. Let me just have a look at this, guys. Maybe the thrusters, they're on the same level. Okay, let's put another line of blocks across the back here, like this. I know it's one of the frustrating aspects of... Okay, I'm just gonna take... Oops, no. Okay, I'm just gonna make the wing a little bit wider. I know it's getting a bit chunky. It's probably getting a bit heavy as well, actually, to be honest. So we made that a little bit wider that way. So that gives us a wing to walk out on as well if we really, really want to. Kind of... I don't... There, that's... There, we got this area here. Got the pools of lights. I think maybe these could be a little bit too far back. So maybe want to take these off, and we're just gonna move them slightly further forward. Yeah, maybe if we stick with the horizontal and put them back where they were before. Okay, just gonna... So that would give us a horizontal view so we can actually see where we're going. So that's like the same as it was before on the front here. Okay. Oops, not too far. So that will give me a wash forward. I think what I am going to do is we're going to put maybe we'll put a light just in there on each side. And that would give me there, and I've got 2 more. So I think what I'm going to do is put one on the back. I mean, we'll be like a floating Christmas tree, but okay, that's about there. So if we put another one about there, which I could really do with one underneath as well, but I'm getting a bit too carried away here, guys. And of course, because we've got the bottom of the cab exposed here, means we can jump straight back up in again. Let's just go for another short flight, and then I'll wind this part up, guys. Oops. So it still likes to yaw to one side. I think that's a bit better, guys. I'm actually getting oh, look at that, the cool shadow underneath it. Okay, let's try the guns out again. Yeah, that's a bit better. Oops. Getting a bit of drift. A bit. No, I'm just going to jump out. Oh, his buddy's showed up. Okay. He's got a buddy here. Okay, never mind. Just having a look round, guys. I mean, I could put a spine through the centre here, but I can't see the point, to be honest. I mean, yes, that's a weak point if I get attacked from the side, but I could armour it up a little bit more. But we've got some frontal armour that's going to make a difference. I mean, I could put, but I mean, there's nothing here exposed. These are behind the guns. We've got some protection there. Yeah, I'm overthinking it, guys. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. I've gone on too long, and we've now got a ship that we can go out and explore with. And in the next part, that's exactly what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go out and do a lot more aggressive exploration now, because, and obviously I'm going to make some ammunition. And what we're going to, oh look, we've got 2 of them are teamed up. Oh no, he's just gone up to his buddy thinking, oh, maybe he's going to come back to life. All I can say, guys, is hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.